My good looks equates to being chosen early by males. Equates to losing my virginity that night and being forced to bear children. Change this outcome. Luo Zi set her sights on the rumored big shot who couldn't reproduce. And tonight is that tribe's selection ceremony. The day Luo Zi put your plan into action. She arrived fully prepared at the sacrificial square, waiting for her chance. However, after waiting a long time, the hunting party had still not returned. Luo Zi began to feel uneasy at this point. Yin Lin really mustn't run into trouble. She didn't want to be dragged into the bridal chamber for mating tonight. Suddenly, a young beastman lad shouted out, "They're back! They're back!" The hunting party actually captured a blade beast. As soon as the words fell, a youth of striking, clear demeanor walked from afar, dragging an unknown colossal creature. Behind him, under the bright moonlight, Yin Lin's figure stood tall and straight, approaching step by step. What an utterly refreshingly handsome man. Yet, it was precisely this coldly beautiful youth whom the tribe considered a disabled beastman, solely because he couldn't transform into beast form. And it was further rumored he quadruple to the extent that Yin Lin became outcast, shunned by the tribe. Yet this was exactly what Luo Zi had hoped for. As a modern Persanwo had crossed over, she couldn't accept having relations with a beastman. At this moment, Yin Lin's icy pupils looked toward the clan chief. The blade beast was hunted by me alone. According to the rules, the tribe cannot make the distribution. I'll take my leave first. Yin Lin, what do you mean? The blade beast is the most delicious food. Are you trying to hog the blade beast? Zhao, the bright red one, was the first to jump out. As the shaman's daughter, she usually gets a share no matter what the hunting team brings back. Her words instantly sparked 1,000 waves, and the tribe's pampered females all chimed in. Exactly, Yin Lin. You don't even have a female, and besides, what does a disabled beastman need so much food for? Listening to the crowd's mockery, Yin Lin's ice blue round pupils gradually showed a tendency to turn into vertical slits, a sign of his rising anger. Just then, the old shaman Sabo suddenly spoke. Yin Lin, you are a warrior. The tribe raised with much food. For the tribe, let's share blade beast with everyone. Anyone with eyes can see its meat as comfort on the surface, but it's actually repaying kindness with a demand. And Silver Lin, naturally, wouldn't agree. I contributed to other beast meat too. Those I can do without. I just want the blade beast. Watching the dozen or so prey being carried into the tribe one after another, the witch doctor hesitated. This would indeed be more cost-effective for the tribe. Just as she was about to nod, Big Red rushed up and shook her arm. Dad, I want to eat it. He, a disabled beast, can't possibly finish this much. After speaking, she turned her face to glare at Silver Lin. A disabled beastman like you, whom no female wants, should share the delicious blade beast with the tribe's females. The rest of the females immediately found this reasonable, and so, for the sake of the meat, they all started shouting along, various harsh words pouring from their mouths. At this moment, Silverlin's expression grew increasingly heavy. All sorts of oppressive words kept pressing down on him, as if he were being abandoned by all. Watching the young man bowing his head in the crowd, Luo Zi felt uncomfortable. Would it work if Sharon over now and said she wanted to be his female? Her original plan was to find a chance to pull him aside alone, present the gift, and then plead with him kindly. If he really disagreed, she still had a backup plan. But in the current situation, Silver Lin's mood must be very poor. What if, just as she approached, what should I do if I'm pushed aside? At this moment, Yinlin spoke up. If you all want to compete for this blade beast, causing the hunting team to lose fairness, I will withdraw from the hunting team. No way! The voice came from the tribal chieftain. If Yin Lin withdraws from the hunting team, the loss to the tribe would be too great. You can look down on his physical disability and inability to produce offspring, but you cannot look down on his hunting abilities. This capture of the blade beast is Enough to prove his combat strength, the chieftain was a strong, middle-aged beastman, theravines and wrinkles on his face, making him appear even more imposing. At this moment, he continued, Yinlin, the hunting team is off-course fair. Everyone isn't trying to snatch your prey, but you have no fmail. You can't eat the entire blade. Beast, I can allocate 50 shels to you, as if you sold it to the tribe. However, Yinlin was unusually stubborn. What if I have no female? The blade beast was hunted by me alone. I don't agree with any other distribution method. After pausing, he continued, since the chieftain still believeth hunting team should be fair, then I'll take my prey and leave. After saying this, he turned to leave. At this moment, Luozi could no longer sit still. If she didn't act now and he left, she would be randomly assigned a beast husband. But the thought of taking the initiative to confess her feelings inevitably brought a hint of shyness to her. Silver warrior, I like you. Could I be your female? Looking at thief male before him, who seemed to have gathered immense courage, Silver's expression remained cold as ever. But his pointed, fluffy snow ears suddenly twitched. The first to react was Da Luoji, are you crazy? Just to eat blade beast, you choose Silver as your mate? It's not for the beast meat. I genuinely like Silver. He's good looking. At this moment, Luo Zikerst Da hung inwardly, hoping desperately that Silver wouldn't misunderstand and then reject her. So she loudly repeated it once more. I like you, Silver. You are very good looking. Those words directly made her old face blush. Yethmen before her seemed unmoved. Please, big brother, quickly agree to my confession. At this moment, Yui, who was quite close to Luoji, suddenly steps forward. But Luoji can't even bear cubs. She's a disabled beast and won't live much longer. These words were sincerely advising Luoji. Although Silver is handsome, disabled beasts never have long lifespans and are looked down upon by others in the tribe. Da Hong, who couldn't eat the blade beast, mocked. If other males could take a liking to this dirty, smelly female, choosing a disabled beast, you two are quitting a match. In an instant, the crowd, many female beastmen also chimed in agreement. Originally, they were discussing the ownership of the blade beast, but now, it had turned into a discussion about how dirty she was. But actually, she had been unintentionally pretending before, just to avoid being targeted by male beastmen. Yet at this moment, she couldn't lose face in front of Yinlin. Just as she was about to open her mouth to explain, Yinlin glanced at her, then immediately spoke up. I went, hearing the first two words, Luo Zi's first reaction was that it was over. The big shot was going to reject her. At this moment, Luo Zi couldn't care about so much anymore. She yanked off the hat she used for disguise, pulled out from her bosom a bright red, heart-shaped fruit, and sincerely looked at Yinlin. Not ugly, and I don't smell bad either. This is my gift to you. Please eact me. After Luo Zi took off her hat, exclamations of surprise never ceased. Is this the sea dragon goddess? So beautiful. I can't believe my eyes. There is actually such a beautiful female in the world. But the praise didn't bring Luo Zi the slightest bit of happiness, because she saw the big shot right before her, staring at her face and then frowning slightly. This scared Luo Zi so much that her heart trembled, so she deliberately didn't blink, gazing deeply at Yinlin's sharp jawline. After a short while, her eyes grew sore, and she skillfully squeezed a few tears at just the right moment. Then, Yin Liang's pitiful gaze fixed on Yinlin. This scene successfully made Yinlin feel that if he refused, those rippling moist glimmers would soon gather into large teardrops, and she would probably burst into tears. Youth did not believe her unreliable reason that she liked him because Esh found him good looking. No matter the reason, a female like her did not belong to him, nor did he need a female. The next moment, Yinlin suddenly drew the stone knife from his waist and, with one slash, cut off the hind leg of the blade beast, then turned and took the heart-shaped fruit from Luozi's hand. As an exchange, take this. You don't need to do such things. Yinling's clear voice carried a hint of detachment. Whether it was true or false, this female named Luozi was not someone he disliked, but he had no intention of accepting it either. At this moment, Luozi was speechless. Did she really think she wanted to eat meat? No, she didn't want to be dragged into a dark room. Gritting her teeth, ignoring the shocked gazes of everyone, she rushed forward and wrapped her arms around the youth's lean waist, then looked at Yinling with pitiful eyes. I don't want beast meat, I just like you. Can you be my male? Before Yinling could speak, the males in the area grew anxious. Luozi, if Yinling doesn't want to, you can choose him. No, choose me. Yet Luozi had no time to look at them. At this moment, she completely crashed into Yinling's embrace like an ostrich. Don't push her away. The next second, Luozi only felt her body suddenly lighten. Yinling actually lifted her up with just one arm, then swept a sharp gaze over Ivarion, declaring from now on Luozi is my female companion. One sentence directly announced Luozi's ownership. Sitting on Yinling's arm now, Luozi's heart raced wildly, partly from genuine, frantic excitement, and partly from some fear. Yinling's strength is truly too great. Is she really not capable? Will tonight be safe? But in truth, Luozi had also prepared for the worst. Even if Yinling still has that ability, as long as the youth doesn't bully her, she would still rather choose her. No helping it a sucker for good looks, and besides, she had already tried to choose the safest path. Rest is up to fate. Unconsciously, Luozi was set down. They were already home. Then, Yinling focused on handling the beast meat. Her movements deft and skilled, but she didn't seem to intend to control her actions. A stiff silence lasted 10 minutes. Yinling finished headdressing the blade cut meat, then spoke up, breaking the silence. You're very afraid of other males, but I can't protect you. So do you want to flee from the panther tribe? Hearing this, Luo, I know, it's somewhat startling. She guessed it. She seems smarter than other beastmen. Perhaps her behavior indeed seems very peculiar to her. But you're too weak. If you run away, you'll die. Silver Bell's voice coldly adds a sentence. She does not think Luozi truly likes her, but probably means her no harm. No female can suppress malice to embrace a disabled beast. She also doesn't know why she wants to help her. Perhaps her eyes are pretty. Or perhaps because she is the first person to hug her. At this moment, Luozi lowers her head, softly utters an indicating she agrees with Silver Bell's words. No female can survive alone in the wild, but she is still very curious, can't help but ask a question. Why can't you protect me? I can help you with work. At this time, Silver Bell looks at her faintly. My life is very short. I'm going to die. Disabled beastmen cannot live past 20 winters. She has already lived through 19 winters. Though Silver Bell's tone is flat, Luozi still sees in her eyes a touch of desolation and a desolate fatuo with no attachment to the myriad things of the world. In this moment, Luozi falls silent. She doesn't understand what kind of disease her disabilities exactly, but at this moment, she also seems to have no way to help her. But no matter what, she herself is temporarily safe. Silver Bell seems to be a good. The person did not mean to force her. At this moment, Luozi was in a somewhat happy mood, smiling gently at Yinling. Can I walk around here? Perhaps because the girl in front had a sincere and beautiful smile. Yinling suppressed the emotions in her eyes, nodded lightly, then went to the river to clean the game meat. Luozi slowly wandered around the surroundings for a while, learned about the surrounding genventatentum, planning to later plant some crops herself, and when there she chance, improve the house as well. It was a hard-won opportunity, and she would strive to live well in the future. Suddenly, she remembered Yinling, with whom she would live together. Ling, slowly walked to the river, but did not see Yinling, only a wooden basin placed on the bank. Suddenly, from dense water-reed bushes on the bank, came Yinling's commanding voice, "Don't come here, go home." Turning Garand, Luo Zi was instantly frightened and shivering. Under their grass, Yinling's side waist had two extremely long wounds, and even more terrifying, on the wounds were crawling many wriggling black leeches. "What are you doing? Come up quickly, your skin will rot." Like this. As she spoke, Luo Zi wanted to go into the water to pull her up, but forgive her. Those wriggling leeches really made her scalp crawl. At this moment, Luo Zi was almost crying from anxiety, strenuously reaching out her hand to her. "Hurry up and come up." Staring at Thishan stretched out toward her, Yinling's heart, which she had believed to be ice cold, instantly flickered with confusion. Why was she in such a rush? Was it because she was worried about her? And Luo Zi, of course, was worried about her. Worried that if anything were to happen to her, the wonderful life was about to begin would come to an end. In the end, Yinling still did not take hold of that outstretched hand. Instead, she grabbed a leech, casually crushed it, and only then looked toward Luo Zi. The blade beast's teeth are venomous. These waterworms can help suck out the poisoned blood. Luo Zi wasn't a fool either. After hearing her explanation, she understood it seemed she had heard before that leeches could draw out poison. With that, Yinling wouldn't think. She was peeping either bathing, right? "I'll head off first. I'll wait for you at home." Without waiting for a response, she ran off. And at this moment, a strange sense of delight rose in Yinling's heart. In the water, her fuzzy tail couldn't help but sway gently. She said she'd wait for her to come home. After returning home, Luo Zi, fumbling around in the dark wooden hut, finally managed to feel her way to the stone bed covered with animal hides. Suddenly her expression turned serious. She had realized a problem. If she slept on Thebes at night, then where would Yinling sleep? Whatever, she was already staying in someone else's home. And besides, she didn't plan on fulfilling ephemeral duties anyway. Sleeping on the bed again would be a bit too much. So, Luo Zi pulled out a beast skin blanket and laid it on Thefler to sleep. Soon, she fell asleep, even dreaming that Yinling roasted a lot of sizzling oily meat for her to eat. So much so that when Yinling returned, what she saw was a sweet little female sleeping in the corner, drooling. Yinling couldn't bear to disturb her for the moment, and she felt somewhat at ease. Actually, today, there was a moment when she wanted to give up. Right when the clan leader was about to go against the public screen and everyone despised her. After all, she might not live past her 20th winter, but looking at that little female constantly drooling, she felt she could try to live a few more days for her. The next day, upon opening her eyes, Luo Zi felt her entire neck was wet. Hopefully Yinling hadn't seen it. The next second, Luo Zi covered her face in shame and frustration. Yinling must have seen her drool, because she saw the cooked meat Yinling had left for her. Though embarrassed, it didn't affect her eating at all, mainly because she was too hungry yesterday. She only ate her own corn cob, full, and walking out of the wooden hut, Shepin to see Yinling returning. Luo Zi's face bloomed with a bright smile. "Good morning, Yinling. Thank you for the food you gave me." At that moment, Yinling's furry beast earspined. Her silver hair trembled slightly. Even though it was food shared with her, her smile, it was like filling her empty heart with things she would eat. The food she gave and thank her with a smile. People in the clan would not thank her, and even when they did, they would look at her with fearful eyes, as if afraid she would transmit her crippled fate to them. Seeing that Yinling seemed to be in a fairly good mood, Luo Zi followed by tilting her head and asking, "Can we go to the market later?" Yet it was this very sentence that suddenly made Yinling's body stiffen, her pupils instantly narrowing into sharp vertical slits, a cold aura swirling around her. Seeing this, Luo Zi's heart sank. She seemed to have angered her. Although she didn't yet know why she was angry, it was better to back. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. I was just speaking without thinking, don't be angry. However, Yinling only slightly furrowed her brows, then spoke softly, sure, if you have something you want to buy, I'll take you to buy it. That just now was merely her subconscious reaction. For a long time, she had always heard their disgust and curses toward her, and she just didn't want her to hear it. But actually, it didn't matter. She would have to leave him sooner or later, and he would again choose another healthy male. No, if you don't want to go, we won't go. Her original intention was to buy some vegetables, to cook meat, soup, to replenish her chi and blood, because yesterday she seemed to have lost a lot of blood. Since Yinling didn't want to go to the market, then she will first go back to the group housing to get her luggage. I'll go to the group housing to bring the luggage over. Sud. Yet, Yinling didn't know. Wish leaned in and pressed close to her face, the scent of green kutchgrass instantly making her blush. Was she about to be kissed? Was this moving too fast? They hadn't even held hands yet, but considering his looks, it wouldn't be entirely unacceptable to give her idol from the old days a little peck. However, Yinling only rubbed his chin against her neck and the side of her face, with only his slightly reddened ears, betraying his inner feelings. You need a little of my scent. Wait till you return, and I'll talk you to the market. Right, she had overthought it, but Yinling is really very nice. Some people shouldn't judge him by his surface appearance. Look at what she did. She rescued her from dire straits, gave her food and freedom, and was even willing to take her out. Although her words and actions were a bit cold, it really was very good. All right, thank you, Yinling, I'm off. Luo Zi walked briskly toward the direction of the communal house, strands of hair drifting around, a refreshing scent of green grass. This was somewhat like territorial marking. Yinling thoughtfully marked her. This kind of marking should be a form of protection. If you encounter danger, you can call my name. The boy's not so loud voice came through, but the sense of security it gave was immense. Luo Zi turned back and cheerfully hummed in agreement. Her choice yesterday was completely correct. Having a powerful Melias just too blissful. Suddenly a rough voice interrupted Luo Zi's light footsteps. Are you Luo Zi? Last night, you certainly didn't couple with that disabled beast, right? Blocking the way ahead was Lan, he from the hunting team, followed by two men with bare upper bodies. Hearing these words, Luo Zi frowned and said, this has nothing to do with you. I'm already his female partner. Lan He's gaze lingered on Luo Zi's delicate, pinkish-white little face, and indeed he caught the scent of silver scaly on her. Yet snatching a claimed female is a serious crime in the tribe. Luo Zi, if you become our female, you won't have to wear these coarse rags, and you can wear precious spear necklaces just like Da Hong. I don't need what you're offering. Luo Zi didn't want to engage with them and quickened her steps to leave. Watching Luo Zi's receding figure, Lanny's eyes were filled with unwillingness. Brothers, let's find a chance to kill that disabled beast. He doesn't deserve to have such a beautiful female. Another beastman chimed in. Tomorrow, we'll invite him to hunt with us and find an opportunity to kill him. Then we'll fight, and the winner gets Luo Zi. At that moment, a figure hiding behind a large tree turned pale. Actually, Luo Zi hadn't gone far, because their appearance in this place was suspicious. She never expected they truly harbored ill intentions. She had to find a chance to tell Yinlin to prevent him from being killed and herself from facing the fate of being violated and for said to bear offspring. It was also her fault, as she had brought trouble to Yinlin, but she also needed to protect him. He was now her only reliance. Hastily arriving behind the communal dwelling, Luo Zi packed her meager belongings, which were the backpack she carried when she crossed over, containing a dead phone and a few books. When they saw Luo Zi, several other females who had also returned to pack their things began gossiping. Luo Zi is so beautiful, yet she chose a disabled beast. Not wanting to eat blade beast meat must mean you're crazy. Hearing these words, Luozi didn't care in the slightest. After packing her things, she walked out of the communal house. Just as she stepped outside, a dirty bra was thrown at Luozi's feet. It was one she had lent Toiyi, who was on good terms with her. Now, Yuei's angry voice came over. Take it back. Luozi, you have a crazy sickness, and you didn't even tell me. You're so vicious. I hate you. Luozi understood what she meant. In these people's eyes, her choosing the silver scale was probably madness. But she saw no need to explain. She then stepped directly over the undergarment on the ground, giving a disdainful look at Yuyi, who appeared in an R-rated state after last night's frenzy. A brain is a good thing. I hope you can have one. Yuyi, seeing Luozi's utterly calm and detached demeanor, felt her anger flare up instantly. What do you mean? Are you calling me brainless? Look at yourself now. Exposing yourself in front of so many males, and listen to their baseless words like rabid dogs. If you really had a brain, you'd think carefully about who actually looks like the one with the crazy sickness. At this moment, Yuyi's face turned awkward as she covered her body. She also became aware of the gazes the malice present were directing at her. Right then, a cold shout suddenly rang out. Seize her! Dahong, upon learning that Luozi had returned, hurriedly brought the tribe's females to block her. Seeing the group of females approaching menacingly, Luozi took off running, charging straight toward Dahong. Just as she was about to collide with Dahong, she deliberately stuck out her foot and tripped her hard, making Dahong successfully fall flat on her face. By the time Dahong got up from the ground covered with pebbles, her animal hide skirt had been torn with a long gash. Dahong was so furious her face turned ashen. You lowly, inferior female, you ruined my precious skirt. I won't let you get away with this. But Luozi had already run far away. Did they think she was stupid? How could she possibly stand there foolishly waiting for them to catch her? However, Luozi hadn't run far when she saw Yinlin standing under a large tree, the breeze lifting his sharply defined silver hair. From a distance, Luozi called out to him. Yinlin, why are you here? Could he be waiting for her? At this thought, a sweet smile spread across her face. At that moment, the ears behind Yinlin's silver hair trembled slightly, his expression somewhat indifferent as he glanced at the panting Luozi. I heard the communal hut arguing, but you didn't call my name. Luozi didn't expect his hearing to be so good, but these words were so heartwarming. He really did intend to protect her. Though her heart was leaping with joy, she still felt somewhat guilty. It was only the first one day. It brought danger and trouble to him. That I seem to have brought you quite a bit of trouble. At this moment, fine fragments of grievance welled up in Luozi's eyes. Would he not want her any more after finding out? Seeing the tears glistening in Luozi's eyes, Yinlin's face, which had just softened because of her smile, darkened. What happened? Big Hong saw me and said she would hit me, probably because I ate the blade beast meat she wanted to eat, and I tripped her while running away. Are you hurt? Yinlin's usually aloof voice unexpectedly carried a hint of tension. No, I'm not. It's just that he also tore her expensive sharkskin dress. Luozi felt a bit happy inside. Why does he seem so concerned about her? As long as you're not hurt, it's fine. Later, we'll go to the marketo sell the blade beast teeth, which can be exchanged for a lot of shell gold, and then we'll compensate. Big Hong, hearing that Luozi wasn't hurt, Yinlin seemed to let out a sigh of relief, and replied very nonchalantly, offering a solution to the problem. Was this the responsibility from a beastman husband? The little wife was truly touched at this moment. The big shot seemed to not take this matter seriously at all. After returning to the small hut, she discovered something even more touching. Yinlin had actually prepared breakfast and was waiting for her. This kind of sudden gentle treatment, the feeling made her heart uncontrollably flutter like a little deer. He was not only unrealisticalism, but also unrealistically kind. She really wanted to know him a little better. After just one day together, she had already developed a reluctant to part emotion. But could she really only live a short life? On the way to the market after breakfast, Luo Ji was thinking about how to tell Yin Lin that someone wanted to harm him. She was somewhat worried he would think she was a source of trouble and not wander, but finally mustered the courage to confess to Yin Lin. However, Yin Lin just let out a faint. He didn't feel that Luo Zi had brought him trouble. Besides, Luo Ji was already his recognized female. Unless she actively abandoned him, he would not give her to anyone. But Luo Zi couldn't guess the thoughts in his heart. However, beastmen are usually straightforward. If you are annoyed with her, he should show it. Right? Sigh. The handsome big boss was perfect in every way. He just talked little, completely leaving her Uniblito read him. Actually, Yin Lin had been keeping an eye on Luoji from the corner of his eye, noticing she often gazed at the beastmen passing by, seeming somewhat envious of the females being carried on the males' backs, and she also really liked beastmen cubs. It's a pity she couldn't transform into a beast form. As for cubs, a beastman like him about to die wasn't worthy of fantasizing about cubs either. Suddenly, Yin Lin, walking ahead, stopped in his tracks, turned around and looked at Luo Zi. I'll carry you. At first, Luo Ji thought she must have misheard him, so she let out an sound, but Yin Lin directly squatted in front of her, placed his sturdy arms on his knees, and coldly uttered one word, "Come." At this moment, Luo Jishirt was pounding wildly. This big shot wasn't following the usual script. He was actively inviting her for a hug. But to sit on his arm and be carried by him, what difference was there from a 3-year-old child being carried by an adult? But was there a problem with being a 3-year-old child in front of a big shot? No problem at all. So Luo Zi's face blossomed into a sweet smile. Thank you, Yin Lin. She had to accept it. How could she bear to reject the handsome big shot's kindness? And Yin Lin had thought she would refuse, never expecting this beautiful little female to directly sit up and even affectionately wrap her arms around his neck. Thief male's alluring scent spread under his nose, and Yin Lin's Adam's apple couldn't help but bob up and down. The reason he actually wanted to carry Yun Yao was that he couldn't stand the surrounding male beast staring at her so brazenly. He didn't allow other beastmen to secretly ogle her. Suddenly, a mocking voice came through. Everyone, look quickly. He's the leopard tribe's inauspicious beastman Yin Lin. Ice god. Such a beautiful female, actually. She is the mate of an ill-omened beastman. These harsh voices entered Luo Zi's ears, and she finally understood why he didn't want to come to the market. He must have experienced this countless times over the years. I think this female must have been forced. Such a beautiful female could never possibly choose a disabled beastman, right? A disabled beast that cannot reproduce doesn't deserve a beautiful female. Sentence of self-righteous speculation and mockery made Luo Zi's anger flare up instantly. She jumped down and yelled at the crowd of beasts. What are you looking at? What right do you have to say others are no good? Look at your own appearances. You even have the nerve to call someone else a disabled beastman. I think even though you aren't disabled, you're still less capable than my male. Have some dignity and be decent. If you have no dignity, then shut your mouths. The scene even stunned Yin Lin. He hadn't expected her to speak up for him and to be so angry. Just moments ago, he was still worried she would look down on him. Regardless of whether she truly liked him or not, he would remember this gratitude in his heart. She was the first person to ever speak up for him. Yin Lin, you don't need to care what others say. From now on, let's just live our own lives well. Luozi's voice was soft and gentle as she comforted Yin Lin, and she deliberately pressed herself closer to him. Let's just say this is comfort, not taking advantage, right? Yin Lin turned his face aside, looked up, and met her lively, encouraging eyes. Nodded gently. I understand. Of course, he understood her meaning. All these years, while stubbornly clinging to life, that was how he had thought, not caring about others' malice and prejudice. It was just that what she had said just now was and at this moment, he suddenly wanted to live much, much longer. To stay by her side a little more. And meeting Yin Lin's gentle gaze, Luo Zi's heart beat fiercely. She really wanted to blurt out one of those cheesy pickup lines from domineering CEO novels. You damn little temptress, you're way too alluring. The atmosphere made Luo Zi feel inexplicably shy, and she ran off to the vendor stalls to sweep through the goods. During this time, Yin Lin sold off her collected items, pulled Luo Zi to a stall that looked very expensive, used all her savings to buy a very expensive dress. Luo Zi wanted to stop her, but it was already too late. She just went ahead and bought it, spending lavishly without slightest hesitation. Could this be bought to compensate Da Hong? But Yin Lin instead directly pulled her to a small grove, handed the dress to her. Go change into it, huh? Why, isn't this to compensate Da Hong? Luo Zi was a bit confused at this moment. Seeing her hesitate, Yin Lin thought she was worried about offending Da Hong. Then she looked at her seriously and said, Luo Zi, you are the female acknowledge, I will protect you. Perhaps Luo Zi's dazedly staring at her appearance is very alluring. The person is adorable. Yinling tentatively raised her arm for the first time, gently stroked Luo Zi's head, a head pat from the boss. Head pat kill. Oh my god, who could withstand this? Luo Zi only felt as if she had been forced to drink an 82-year-old carbonated cola, her whole body feeling dizzy. The Isai boss suddenly turning gentle was truly deadly. Thank you, Yinling, you turn around first. I'll change next. Logically speaking, Luo Zi was her female. She had the right to see her body, but when Yinling saw her tender, blushing little face, she still turned around. Her little female seemed very shy. Luo Zi quickly slipped on the new dress. I'm done. Thank you, Yinling. Luo Zi's voice was sweet and charming. Perhaps feeling that she had taken a step closer to the big boss, she reached out and lifted the boss's hand resting at her waist. We should go home. An exceptionally bright and radiant smile crashed into tree-like pupils as clear as silver bells and the silver moon. She nodded lightly, then without giving Luo Zi time to react, grabbed her soft little hand and lifted her up again. We're going home. Although the expression on Yinling's face remained cold and aloof, Luo Zi could sense gentleness in her clear voice, giving rise to an indescribable warmth in her heart. Along the way, Luo Zi asked to be put down, but each time she was ignored by the big boss. So Luo Zi intimately wrapped her arms around the boss's neck and fell asleep, breathing in the scent of riverside green grass that clung to Yinling. At this moment, Luo Zi thought to herself, if she couldn't return to the modern world, staying like this with her might not be so bad either. Just before drifting Jinto dreams, some exceptionally tender and intimate thoughts emerged in Luo Zi's mind. When Yinling brought Luo Zi back to the tribe's entrance, she saw a group of beastmen gathered there, as if waiting for their return. It turned out to be Big Red, stationed at the gate with the crowd of beastmen. Yinling immediately put down that foolish female of yours and returned her to the tribe. Big Red couldn't wait to deal with the one who made her fall flat on her face this morning. Luo Zi gave a severe beating. If Silver Bell could abandon Yun Yao over this matter, it would be even better. She will do it before she finds a new male. Spoil her face. Despite the big fuss she made, the only response she got was a piercing, knife-like murderous glare. The other females were scared off by Yinling's chilling, cold gaze. But Da Hong was not afraid of Yinling at all, recklessly stretching out her arm to block the door. If you don't drop Luo Zi, don't even think about it. However, before she could finish her words, Da Hong was kicked away by Yinling. That's right. She was kicked. A long, slender leg sent Da Hong flying in one kick. At that moment, all the beast's wide-net their eyes Yin Ling was about to start. A rebellion, daring to hit a female, let alone the noble shaman's daughter. The next second, all the beasts erupted. Oh my god, Luo Z really is insane. She infected Yinling. Run quickly, call the males of the beast. Guard team over. The screaming Waka Luo Z up, who rubbed drowsily. Rubbing her eyes, she looked at Da Hong lying on the ground. Yinling, how dare you hit me? You will be killed. Da Hong clutched her stomach in pain, an angry voice squeezing out from between gritted teeth. Luoji is my female. If you want to harm her, then I will attack you. After saying that, she walked forward without looking back. Her thinking was this: simple, female that belongs to oneself is even more worthy of protection than prey, and must not be violated by anyone. Somewhat recovering, Luoji swallowed hard. Thebus really dared to do it. She actually hit her. Could she be this fierce? Coming back to her senses, Luoji felt a bit worried, although she didn't quite understand the tribe's rules. However, he also knew that the status of females within his own tribe was quite high. Was Silver Bell directly starting to fight a bit reckless? Sure enough, a group of running beastmen rushed over with the old witch doctor. Silver Bell, how dare you lay hands on a female? You must kneel and apologize to her, and accept the tribe's punishment. Silver Bell stopped in his tracks, coldly staring at the old witch doctor, stubbornly saying, I was protecting my own female. I did nothing wrong. If you think that Big Red harming my female is allowed, then my attack on Big Red should also be allowed. Of course, after I attacked her, I am willing to accept the challenge from her mate. At this moment, in Luo's eyes, the evening glow on the horizon was not even as handsome as the big shot's eyebrows. And eyes damn handsome, too perfect. In this moment, many females from other tribes were speechless because of Silver Bell's words. When they were bullied by Big Red, why didn't their males protect them? And the witch doctor's facetified at the words. His lips twitched, but heckled and uttered a retort. Of course, he knew that in any tribe, females should be protected. So, are you challenging me? At this moment, Silver Bell's sharp silver eyes swept over the beastmen surrounding him. He was truly ready to fight. The Malicwo were just baring their teeth and growling. All took 2 steps back. Females from the hunting team were all very. It is very clear about Yinling's combat strength. No one in the entire tribe is her match. Seeing this scene, Da Hong becomes anxious and sharp-eyed. You go on. Hit her, bite her to death. Fog Fox, what are you standing there for? Aren't you my male anymore? And you, Big Thunder, what are you waiting for? All of you, attack together now. At this point, Fog Fox and Bite Hunter exchanged a glance. A battle plan formed. They prepared to surround Silver Bell. Yet even at this moment, Silver Bell still didn't forget to comfort Luo Z. Be good, step back a bit. At this moment, Luo Z hung her head, somewhat afraid to meet her eyes. Initially, she only thought about surviving. Here, about finding a powerful male who wouldn't force her to download anything. Carrying such selfish intentions, she felt guilty and uneasy, all in order to stay alive. But it brought endless troublado the Silver Bells. However, there was no time left for Luoji to think now. With a click, she was jolted awake. Missed Fox wasped in the abdomen by Silver Bell, crimson liquid splattering onto the people around. Big Thunder, meanwhile, was pinned by Silver Bell against his throat, forcing him to continuously emit painful whimpers. With just a little more force, she could have taken his violent life. As the saying goes again, a blade beast that requires the entire hunting team to cooperate to capture. Silver Bell alone can hunt and kill it, which is enough to prove Silver Bell's ferocity. Suddenly, fierce roar rang out, and a black panther of exceptionally imposing build came charging over. Clan Chief Rain Valley had finally Arrived. Silver Bell, release Bite Hunter. Perhaps the clan chief's words had taken effect, as Silver Bell silent clearly as the completely powerless Big Thunder, covered in blood, and walked towards Luo Z. Luo Z now felt, my scalp tingles with fear, boss, an absolutely brutal fight. Such terrifying methods, though fear is fear, how could she be so ungrateful? Luo Z, suppressing her fear, carefully reached for that blood-stained hand. Yut unexpectedly, Yin Ling avoided her extended hand, turning her face to look at the chieftain. Unless you can find a stronger male to defeat me, otherwise he is not worthy of bullying my partner, I will still attack him. Yin Ling's meaning is exactly literal. Without a strong male partner, how is one worthy of bullying others outside? Even if it's you, Da Hong, you must show your strength. At the same time, her words directly shut the chieftain's mouth. The weak are prey to the strong. The strong rule. This is an eternal, unchanging rule. Logically, Yin Ling Atta Kinga female definitely violates tribal rules. But her reason is to protect females. Without females, there are no descendants. This is the Beastman law that Verity's tribal rules. At this moment, the disabled Beastman Yin Ling, whom everyone used to look down upon, now shines brightly in these of many females. But Da Hong still refuses to let it go. Even if I bullied him, he must still compensate for ruining my valuable clothes, and must kowtow and apologize to me. Hearing this, Yin Ling slightly frowned. Da Hong is changing the subject, fixating on the clothes and not letting go. Luo Zi glanced at the blood stain splashed on her long skirt, unwilling. He replied weakly, your mate's blood has stained my more precious clothes. You have to compensate me first. Make him apologize to me. His mistake. My clothes are much more expensive than yours. At this moment, everyone noticed the sea eel skirt on Luo Zi. In the market, it would cost nearly 100 shell coins. How could this usually low-key disabled beastman be so wealthy, even richer than the shaman's family? You're being unreasonable. It was clearly your male one-jured Big Hong's mate. That's why he bled. Big Hong's close friend Lu Ta seized on this point and spoke up in response. Seeing the displeased look on the clan leader's face, Luo Zi immediately reacted and added fuel to the fire. The clan leader hasn't even judged right or wrong yet. Who are you to decide? Don't say you haven't become the shaman. Yet, even if you did become the shaman, expelling tribesmen from the tribe is a power only the clan leader holds. Or are you saying you believe you also have such power within the tribe? That's right, even the clan leader must respect me, my father, otherwise if my father refuses to treat Hisselness, he will die. If you don't kneel before me, you will die. Big Hong blurted out what she was thinking clearly. She was just brainless and digging her own father's grave. In order to show off her own nobility, she once again heightened the tension of the confrontation. The shaman's clan, because they possessed valuable knowledge and could heal beastmen, therefore enjoyed priority access to all the tribe's resources. But the shaman was just the shaman. The old witch priest still knew how to read the situation. Seeing the clan leader's aura icy and cold, he quickly scolded Hong with a shout, hurry up and roll back. Here, suddenly, Luota with the pointed chin rushed up with a dark expression. With a sharp slap, she fiercely struck Da Hong across the face. My father is the clan leader. Only he has the right to expel beastmen. You've gone too far. Thissine stunned Luo Zi. Could a beastman best friend's downfall happen this fast too? But this was exactly what she wanted. She could sneak away with the big shot. Looking towards Yinling again, she found that the big shot seemed to have been staring at her all along, as if probing something. Did she come across as too forceful just now? Meanwhile, Yinling felt that his female not only had the most beautiful appearance, but was also very intelligent, unlike any beastman he had ever met. Yet, someone like her, why would she fear other males but not him? At this moment, The clan leader Gaiu's voice, suppressing anger, came through. Da Hong, for maliciously harming a female, is punished with 3 days confinement in the cave, with no food given. And now Luo Zi felt her back intensely burning hot. This farce ended with Da Hong's complete defeat. The intelligent and beautiful Luo Zi became the white moonlight for many males. Men, after all, just like special women. One by one, they watched Luo Zi's departing figure with predatory eyes, wishing short-lived Yinling would die sooner. How they died from illness, they have a good chance to pick up the pieces. Luo Zi shrunk her neck, almost walking right next to the boss. The two of them all the way walked home in silence. Luo Zi sheepishly thanked the boss, grateful that the boss stepped up to protect her, to fight for her battle, and the boss just casually grunted in acknowledgement, leaving Luo Zi at a loss for words. She had plenty to say, but couldn't handle a boss who didn't like to talk, and was even more afraid that talking too much would annoy the boss. At this moment, Luo Zi felt a bit melancholic, not knowing if the boss treated her so well, was fulfilling the duty of a male taking care of a female, or if there was just a tiny bit of liking for her. Watching the busy, silver-bellied, and Luo Zi opened her mouth to ask what you are doing, or how about we cook together? Yorb still needs some vine ropes to secure it. The silver bell stared fixedly at Luo Zi's delicate little face. She always wore a beautiful smile when speaking to her, and Luo Zi hadn't expected Thathe boss was making a bed for her. Touched by his silent warmth, she stared blankly into his eyes, her heartbeat suddenly skipping a beat. For some reason, Luo Zi said something that might make her regret it. If you don't mind, I can squeeze in with you for now. Luo Zi originally meant to feel sorry for the silver bell. It wasn't necessary for her to stay up late making a bed for her. Even if she slept on the floor, it would be fine. But the silver bell misunderstood, clearly voicing out, do you want to mate with me? At this moment, Luo Jishirt felt like that of an old pervert lusting after a handsome man's body. Yet on the surface, sure a shy appearance. No, that's not what I meant to mean. I can sleep on the floor. But Yin Ling suddenly set down the tool in her hand, and actually raised her hand to touch Luo Zi's flushed, burning cheek. The soft, tender, and smooth texture beneath her fingertips made her lose focus for a moment. But the next second, Yin Ling turned and walked into the kitchen. Fine, then I won't make a new bed yet. I'll cook first. What's meaning of this? Is that it? Why? Isn't this like what happens in dramas? Well, maybe the big shot just wanted to touch her face out of pure curiosity, making her get her hopes up for nothing. Setting aside her messy thoughts, Luo Zi quickly walked into the kitchen, swiftly took the meat from Yinling's hands, and gave her a soft, gentle smile. I'll cook. You just wait to eat. I'll go wash this first. Eating hers, wearing hers, living in hers. If she doesn't do something, she'd really feel too embarrassed. Yin Ling was a bit puzzled at this moment, not understanding why. Meat, already salted, needed washing. Gagan wasn't that wasting salt? But she let it be. Before, she never had the habit of storing food, but now, she had to consider going into the forest alone to hunt. Having a delicate female partner indeed brought more trouble, but she didn't resent this kind of trouble. Watching Thatcherful figure running toward the riverside, she only felt as if the pale, cold world had gained a bit more color. When Lok Kai returned, she saw Yin Ling had already carefully lit the fire. Big brother is really too thoughtful. Thank you, Yin Ling. I just happened to not know how to light a fire. Yin Ling's silvery, furry animal ears twitched upward slightly, and she quietly glanced at her. She, the only person she met would thank her with a smile, seemed to really lick her. Speaking of liking, Yin Ling recalled her confession at Thutum Tide Festival, and for a moment, she felt inexplicably dazed, as if her mood was somewhat joyful. Blue round pupils unconsciously revealed themselves. Luo Zi was seeing her fully round pupils for The first time. These silver eyes that held flowing light at the corners were truly gentle and beautiful. She was hesitating how to bring up wanting to go to the forest with her, taking advantage of her good mood. It was the perfect time to bring it up. Are you going hunting in Suniverse at forest? Could he accompany you? After saying this, she even afraid she wouldn't agree. Luoji dared to grab her wrist, gently shaking it twice, with a strong sense of acting cute. Silver Ling's wrist was grasped by a soft, boneless little hand, an unfamiliar sensation, never felt before, like a small stone drop in Jinto, the still surface of a dead pond. Seeing Yin Ling show some unusual movement, Luo Zi struck while the iron was hot, staring eagerly at the hesitant boss. I know there will be danger, but I will obediently follow you. I'm very well behaved, I promise. Not to run around. It was the first time Yin Ling had been touched so softly by a female, yet Shesta-bornly refused to give in. Luo Zi didn't expect this matter to make the boss so reluctant to agree, and helplessly released her wrist. But would she give up? Clearly, she would not. She already had a plan in mind. Isn't it set in TV dramas that men are most swayed by pillow talk? She was going to. Boss slept together. Anthan continued to touch her at night, as the saying goes, as long as you put in the effort, an iron rod can be ground into a needle. After finishing dinner, taking advantage of Silver Bell going to wash the dishes, Luo Zi simply wiped her lower body with water. Seeing that Silver Bell hadn't returned yet, she planted the plant seeds bought at market today in the yard. Not every time traveler knows how to farm. Luo Zi could only leave it to fate. Suddenly a voice sounded from behind. We don't need to grow food. Luo Zi could guess what the boss was thinking, probably feeling that her hunting was enough. Only beastmen from low-level tribes would try farming. Your hands are very dirty. Silver Bell's gaze swept over Luo Zi's fair, tender hands covered in black mud, her tone unclear whether it was disdain or something else. Looking at Silver Bell's bewitchingly charming, pretty face, Luo Zi's small face carried a cutie and earnest expression as she said, I'll go wash by the river now. I'll clean them before getting into your bed. After saying that, she quickly slipped away, afraid that if she looked any longer she wouldn't be able to control herself. Just because Uhen the boss spoke, the rolling of her throat was damnably captivating. Silverbell watched the receding figure, frowned slightly. Clearly the little female hadn't understood her meaning before running off. Her meaning was that farming is exhausting. The delicate little female doesn't need to farm, she could support the household. Also, the meaning is, tonight you want to sleep with her? Just ran to the riverside. Luo Zi's face inexplicably showed what exactly was just said. What kind of bold words are these? What she meant was to consider the boss's hard work. She could just sleep on Thefler. Why mention getting into bed? She felt that the image of an old pervert in Yinling's heart was impossible to wash away. On the way back, Luoji walked slowly, thinking to herself, the boss doesn't have that kind of ability, so there's no need to worry about intimate matters. The remaining issue is to find a way to coax the boss into taking her to the forest. When she returned home, Yinling was sitting by the bonfire sewing animal hide clothing. She couldn't transform into her beast form to fight, so it was common for her clothes to get damaged during battle. Luo Zi took off her shoes and actively climbed onto the wooden bed covered with soft animal hides. Then I first go to sleep. Then she covered herself with the fur blanket, revealing a small head, looking at Silver Bell with an utterly pure gaze. And just at that moment, Silver Bell put down what was in her hands and stood up, and Luo Zi's heart, which had just calmed down, began to thump again. She's coming. She's coming. Is the big boss also going to sleep in bed? What should I say later? But there wasn't anything. Silver Bell took a fur pouch from the shelf and handed the fur pouch to Luo Zi. Not understanding, Luo Zi opened the fur pouch. Inside were all shiny shells. Were these all for her? At this moment, Silverbell gazed seriously at Luo Zi. In the future I will save shells, little female. You don't need to grow food. The big boss let her little female, that's too heartwarming. Her budding maiden heart couldn't take it. This might make her misunderstand. Silverbell is clearly just a cold, disabled beastman who has never received tenderness or love yet. Today, he tirelessly carried her, bought her clothes, protected her. How could he be so good? Luo Ji was deeply moved. A pair of gentle, beautiful eyes, Karinga misty, watery gaze, stared at her. And she bravely extended a small hand to rest on Silverbell's large hand. The warmth of their skin touching made Silverbell unconsciously swallow hard. A cold, icy blue glint rising in his frosty eyes, that was a light of uncontrollable desire via beasts. But at this moment, Luo Zi, where could one pay attention? Still shyly, she revealed a sweet smile towards Yinling. I know you are very capable. Obleto make me full. But farming is convenient, and there will be a greater variety of food. While speaking, she used those delicate and boneless hands to stroke Yinling's hand. A strong itching sensation rushed from the back of her hand into her heart. In an instant, Yinling's blood surged rapidly. She quickly pulled back her pinned hand and walked out of the room with disordered breathing, leaving behind a bewildered Eulogy. Don't go, I only touched your hand a little. Just now, she was called a cute little female, but now she acts as if avoiding a snake or scorpion. However, Luoji waited for a long time in vain. The enchanting big shot still did not return. Finally, she couldn't hold on and fell asleep. In her daze, she felt a cool, grassy scent of moisture. Luoji subconsciously lifted her leg to clamp it, this most comfortable sleeping position. But she did not know that the moment she recklessly lifted her leg to clamp it, a furry, snow-white tail instantly stiffened, the fur standing on end in shock, only slowly returning to normal after a long while. And what Luoji even less knew was that Yinling actually had a stronger craving for desert than ordinary males. Because she was half human, half beast, greed and restlessness would appear in her human form after reaching adulthood. Yinling had always been an early riser, but today was an exception. Her waist was pinned by the little female's leg, and struggling would make her more excited and stirred up. In the dream, Luo Zi felt the body pillow trying to escape, so she angrily hugged the pillow tighter, then lifted her leg and kicked hard, but she felt like she had kicked an iron plate. From the sudden pain, Luo Ji abruptly opened her eyes, only to meet a pair of cold, bloodthirsty vertical pupils. The big boss's gaze seemed like it wanted to devour her wool without spitting her out. Oh, she had reached the limit. Luo Ji swallowed the saliva that had urgently secreted. I can explain. How exactly to explain? She didn't know either. Did she just kick the big boss's balls? What a sin. Adding insult to injury for the already infertile big boss. I was dreaming just now, dreaming of a monster. I didn't mean it. Luo Jispink, tender lips stumbled through the explanation, yet big boss's handsome face drew closer and closer. Luo Zi didn't dare to blink. She clearly saw the silver vertical pupils flickering with the bewitching, dangerous light. Is the big boss going to at her? Woo! Help! The next moment, a straight nose bridge pressed against her small, sweaty nose tip. Hot breath sprayed between them as their lips collided. The soft, teasing sensation slipped away in an instant. Luo Zi's eyes went blank, as if struck by an electric shock. Her first kiss was gone. Her boss had kissed her. Is there anything more thrilling than this? Yes, there is. After taking her first kiss, the boss stood up, turning his back to her. It revealed that fluffy tail. Boss actually has a tail. That fluffy tail makes her really want to stroke it. If only she could touch it once. Luo Zi admits she has the thief's heart, but not the thief's courage. Soon, Yin Lin put on a fur coat. At home. Don't wander around. I'll back before dark. After a greedy kiss, Yin Lin's voice became aware and low, carrying a hint of elusive charm. Vaguely, her breath was uneven and dunstable. No way, I want to go too. Luo Z quickly climbed out of bed. She missed the great opportunity last night to beg him. Dangerous, not allowed. After bluntly refusing, the door was mercilessly closed. At this moment, Luo Z covered their belatedly burning cheeks. The boss slipped away after kissing. It's really maddening how to pass the days when the boss isn't them. Just survive, I guess. Thankfully, Da Hong is locked up. Probably no one will bother her, right? Alone at home, Luoji decided to cook a few dishes. Maybe if the boss eats happily, he'll agree to take her to the forest. Suddenly, a very abrupt voice sounded. How fragrant. Luo Z, what are you eating? Luo Z warily looked at the newcomer, seeing no one else behind him. She slightly relaxed. What are you here for? The newcomer was Yi, who previously had a distant relationship with her, but at this moment, he was all ragged. There were actually quite a few unsightly bruises on her thighs and arms. It seemed that life after Yui found a male wasn't so pleasant after all. Yui handed over the fruit she was holding in her arms. I came to apologize to you. I misunderstood you before, and I forgive you. If there's nothing else, you can go back. Yui is just a brainless beast woman female. She doesn't need to bother with him. But as Yui turned to leave, a hint of hesitation flashed in her eyes. What about these sweet fruits? Seeing her speak so haltingly, even Luoji, who wasn't foolish, knew something was wrong with these sweet fruits. So she grabbed the fruit and was about to stuff it into her mouth. At this moment, Yu looked rather anxious. Don't eat, idiot. It was Da Hong and the others who ordered me to give it to you. If you eat it, your stomach will hurt. Luoji, of course, wouldn't really eat it. She just wanted to test whether Yui's foolishness was harmless. But what was truly was malice. Remember not to tell them that you told me these things, or you might get beaten again. If Luoji hadn't reminded her, the foolish Yu wouldn't have known how to lie. Thank you, Luoji. You're still the one who treats me well. My malianly mates with me every day. And it hurts. At this moment, Luo didn't know how to comfort her. If she hadn't managed to cling to the Big Shot's favor, then Yui's current situation would probably have been her own fate as well. Thankfully, the Big Shot is a cold yet gentle beastman. He definitely wouldn't treat her this way. Luo Zi instructed Yi to protect herself well, and then find a way to change to one that could treat her. The better males, after giving some reserve sperm, were sent away. Yet Luo Zi, who had been busy all day, still couldn't wait for Yin Lin to return. Restless, she kept standing at the door looking out. After her parents' unexpected death in her previous life, Luo Zi had never again felt a sense of security from anyone, so she was prone to wild thoughts and uncontrollable worry. And Yin Lin had excellent night vision. He had spotted early on the little female standing anxiously at the door, peering out, as if waiting for him. Finally, Luo Zi saw the big boss returning with prey and joyfully went to meet him. Yin Lin, you're back. Hearing that cheerful, sweet, and soft voice, Yin Lin's heart, he couldn't help trembling. Noon had ever waited for him at home. Before, he had never experienced this kind of feeling. I was so worried about you. You promised to come back before dark. Luo Zi held back the impulse to hug him that had surged within her just a moment ago, softly complaining. But it sounded more like a child acting spoiled. Yin Lin really wanted to pat her head right now, but both his hands were holding the prey, so he could only lower his voice and gently explain. The prey wasn't easy to catch. I wasted a lot of time. If he wanted to live longer, he had to eat the meat of fierce beasts, which was also why he had refused to share the blade edge meat before. Go wash your hands and eat. I already prepared the meal earlier. As she spoke, Luo Zi wanted to take Thesmal prey from his hands, but Yin Lin's expression invalidly turned cold. He still wasn't used to life with a female, and in the past, no one had ever been able to take prey from his hands, but after just a moment of hesitation, he still handed the mixed chicken over to her. She was his female, he should provide for her, and share the prey with her. After finishing Themi, Luozi sat idly at the doorway, secretly watching the busy figure off the boss under the moonlight. Her little mind couldn't help recalling the scene of the morning kiss. She subconsciously touched her own lips. Was that kiss from the boss a little intentional, a kiss of liking, or was it just a farewell gesture before leaving? Leaving a scent? The more I think about it, the more it drives me crazy. Bro, oh, why is your mind so hard to read? She either should go ask him? But that's so embarrassing. Suddenly, the sound of water from the riverside caught her attention. Luozi's first reaction was, big guy fell into the water. She nervously hurried over, but her eyes suddenly tightened. Under the moonlight, a golden leopard with no stripes on its entire body leaped out of the water, standing proudly before Yinlin, emitting a feminine, delicate, and seductive voice. Yinlin, you are a fine warrior. The most noble female, Da Hong, from your tribe doesn't fancy you, so why not become my male and come back with me to the Golden Leopard tribe? Yin Lin watched her warily, a female capable of transforming into beast form for combat. Sex, it's quite rare. Luoji, who had just run over, was so angry at this moment that she could spit blood. She had finally managed to hook up with the big shot, and in less than 3 days, someone was about to cut in. Before Ish could even act, an even more eye-searing scene unfolded. That plump, large chest was about to press against the big shot. How can you remain indifferent? Hit her. To protect the big shot's pure body, Luo Zhai rushed over in a frantic hurry, embracing Yin Lin's slender waist as if defending her sovereignty while pushing that exposed figure into Thuing, not forgetting to glare fiercely at Jin Bao. No matter who you are, Yin Lin belongs to me. As my partner, stay away from him. But Mi Dai showed no sign of embarrassment from falling into the water. Instead, she stood in the water with a look of indifference, her tone mocking as she said, your partner? There isn't a trace of your scent on him. You haven't mated with him at all. You only chose Yin Lin so you could eat blade beast meat and make yourself more beautiful. Isn't that right? Not many beastmen know the secret of blade beast meat, but Mi Dai believed that this female of Funknoun origin knew, which is why she chose a disabled beastman like Yin Lin. Mi Dai ignored Luo, turning her enchanting gaze toward Yin Lin. Besides having a beautiful face, he can't give you anathingals, but I can give you everything. Here you go. Butterfly clearly knows how intense the beastly nature of a disabled beastman can be, so how could he possibly resist her sexy allure when faced with it? Can you hold it in? And from beginning to end, Yam Lam didn't say a word, just turned to look at MID Dip and Lok Kai-sun. A wave of tension rose from the depths. Sorelai the big boss wouldn't be lured away by just a few words, right? But wasn't that exactly how she had lured him away back then with just a few words? Right now, seeing Yinlin Abuto turn his head to look at Midi, she hastily stood on tiptoe and turned his face back. You don't look at her. Yinlin obediently did not look at Midi. His back turned to Midi as heckledy warned, I have my own female. Now, if you intrude into my territory again, we'll attack you. Hearing the big boss rejection, Luo Zi let out a relieved sigh, then provocatively glanced at Midi, who looked completely astonished. Yet Midi paid no attention to her provocation. Yinlin, I will give you time to think. The tone is full of the inevitability of bringing Silverwood into Theorem, able to hunt Blade S alone. She wouldn't let the beastly Yin Lin off. In the darkness, Luo Zi lay on the bed, tossing and turning, waiting for Yin Lin, who had gone to shower, to return. Hearing the door push open, Luo Zi got up from the bed and asked him softly, pretending to be calm, if that female had looked for him again. No, still a boss style, simple and clear reply. Luo Zi's heart was drumming inside. She wanted to properly explain to the boss that she wasn't with him just because she wanted to eat meat. I actually have savings too, and can buy food. It's not because I want to eat meat that I'm with you. Yin Lin's expression was hard to make out in the darkness, still calm and undisturbed as he lightly hummed. In acknowledgement, at this moment, Luo Ji was truly agitated. Her heart's lake is like 1,000 acres of misty waves rising, yet he seems as calm as still water, utterly indifferent. She doesn't know how long has passed. Luo Zi finally spoke softly. Then do you believe I truly want to live with you? Unexpectedly, she received Yin Lin's low, piercing, "Isn't it because you're afraid of other males?" Hearing this, Luo Zi was stunned. Yes. Whether it was eating beast meat or because of other reasons, in the end, it wasn't truly out of liking that she chose him as her male, so she. What right does she have Toadman that he not agree to others' courtship? At this moment, Luo Ji withered. She had no right, from beginning to end. She never intended to bear children for the big shot, to become his female, for the purpose of reproduction, but rather she was scheming about his infertility. With a faint sigh, Luo Zi softly hummed, "I'm tired. Going to sleep first." After saying this, she curled up in the corner of the bed, as if dejected. But the next second, Luo Zi, who had just been feeling down, instantly broke into a cold sweat. The big shot, who had taken off his clothes, actually wrapped his arms around her waist from behind. At the same time, Yin Lin's low, hoarse, and fragmented voice sounded in her ear. "The reason isn't important. What matters is that you are now mine." Little female. In the quiet room, Luoji even heard Yin Lin's Adam's apple roll in a tingan, especially sexy swallowing sound. "Mom, save me. I can't hold on anymore." Herman seemed to have two little people fighting. One little devil said, "Turn around and hug the big shot's waist. Bar, indulge wanton life for once. Do something only adults can do." A little angel said, "Demon, get lost, don't forget the grand gift." Luo Zi completely stiffened against the corner of the wall, her body so tense she didn't even dare move a toe. Not knowing how long the stalemate lasted, in the end, Luoji still couldn't resist sleepiness and fell into a deep slumber. At this moment, Yin Lin used his agile tail to give a clever hook, and the little female fell helplessly into his embrace. Looking at those tender, pinkish red lips slightly parted, revealing a tempting, charmingly navy appearance, perhaps afraid it would be hard to control her wildness, Yin Lin resisted the impulse to kiss her, merely using his fingertip to caress her lips, which seemed soaked with flower nectar. His voice was gentle yet firm as he said, "I gave you a chance, but you didn't refuse, so you are mine now." Actually, there was one thing Luo Zi got wrong. Yin Lin was never semi-noteworthy cold, but inwardly warm and gentle. Born with Addis ability, she was thus solitary, growing up amidst scorn. After gaining strength, she even dared to kick Da Hong with her foot. The words gentle had nothing to do with her. Whether it was attraction at first sight, or being moved by warmth, she happened to bump into his ice-sealed heart's tip, now already claimed by her as her possession. As long as she lived, then Luo Zi shouldn't even think about escaping. When dawn broke, Luo Zi suddenly opened her eyes, but her cheeks instantly flushed crimson, all the way to the roots of her ears. What was going on now? Before her eyes was a soft pink little honeybean, the boss's little honeybean. And what was happening now? How did she end up waking up and snuggling into the boss's embrace? And of all things, the boss had his arms lightly encircling her. At this moment, the blush that had just faded from Luo Zi again burned fiercely, her mind uncontrollably flooded with some girlish pink fantasies. Meanwhile, Yin Ling was somewhat curious. Why, after waking up, did the little female neither resist nor speak, but instead seemed lost in thought? What was she thinking about? But now Luo Zi was distracted by a furry tail. She simply couldn't trust being tempted anymore, and grabbed the tip of that tail to give it a good, firm stroke. Suddenly, a large hand pulled the terrible tail out of Luo Zi's grasp. Having her tail stroked gave Yin Ling a peculiar sensation. Startled, Luo Ji hurriedly sat up, feeling as if she'd been caught doing something naughty, and looked awkwardly at Yin Ling. "You're awake. Good morning." Sitting up, Yin Ling met those lively, captive attengees, a rare soft light glimmering within them. Slowly raising a hand, she gently patted Luo Zi's little head. "What do you want to do today? Tell me." For some reason, she felt doted upon. Luo Zi, who was caught off guard, froze for a moment. She hadn't expected that. When she casually mentioned a distuderty that she wanted to make some tools, she actually took it to heart. At this moment, Luoji seems like a pink delusional maniac. Did the boss take the initiative to hug her last night? Big boss held her all night and did nothing. Is he not interested in her? Or is big bosses really not up to it? Goodness gracious. Luo Zi was hit by her sudden thought. Forcing herself to calm down, she told Big Boss about her needs. Understanding her request, Yin Ling put on her clothes while saying, "I still have to go hunting this afternoon, so I might not have much time. I need some back support. Please get another male to comb help." Yin Ling got up to leave, but was gently caught by the hand Luo Zi, who sat on the bed, opening her lively big eyes, looking at her weakly. "This afternoon, can you not? Can you take me to the forest? I want to go." This time, Yinling did not remain silent, her voice clear and cold, as she gave a direct Dang refused. "No, you can't." Luo Zi stared blankly at Big Brother's resolute back, sighing about how the beauty trap hadn't worked. Useful, but when she wakes up with eye discharge, she isn't beautiful enough. And actually, in Yinling's, a delicate female like Luoji would probably be gone in the Timite takes to sneeze in the never setting forest. Luoji, who couldn't go to the forest, dejectedly prepared breakfast. Just as breakfast was ready, Yinling returned, followed by two unfamiliar beastmen and a beast woman. Yaxia had a bit of a connection with Yinling, and was the one who held the least malice toward Yinling. Ordinary beastmen would do anything for money. Suddenly, Yinling gave Yaxia a cold look. "My partner doesn't like seeing other males. You dress properly. Clothes." She doesn't even look at them. Yinling had observed Luoji, finding she wasn't like other females who enjoyed looking at other males, displaying sexuality through thievery, and even showing disgust when other males display strength. Yasha looked at Silver with skepticism. Ling took one look, thinking how could it be possible, but there was no need to argue with her. After all, Silver Ling was now her employer. Yin Ling walked into the inner room to eat breakfast and also told Luo Zi a piece of news. "Today Theklan leader told me, these few days our tribe is setting off to Kajia Lake to catch flying fish. Do you want to go?" In an instant, Luo Zi's eyes instantly lit up. "I want to go." "Want to go? Kaga Lake is at the edge of the sunsetless forest, right? You have to cross several mountains, and you would still go, right?" Silver Ling nodded. Her little female and the other females. It's truly different. Other females always want to settle down safely in the tribe. Yin Ling, you're too kind. I like you the most. Only by going out and seeing the outside world can one gain anything. Staying in the tribe all the time won't lead to an upgrade. The system. Thinking off this, Luo Zi excitedly hugged the boss's waist, the sudden softness in his arms, forcing the entire spine from Silver Scales goes numb and stiff. Originally, those clear, cold, desireless eyes gradually darken, as if some flood. The water beast is crawling out from the abyss, very much wanting her to hold it tighter. However, Luo Zhongli embraced it tightly that briefly. Then he let go of her with great delight. "I'll go teach them how to build the fence." Having said that, he skipped happily out, had no idea that her proactive embrace and confession would cause such a severe aftermath for the boss. Did not notice the big boss behind with tightly knitted brows, stiff expression. Beads of sweat streamed down the man's lined sharp neck. At this moment, Silver Ling's Adam's apple is tightly strained. This was the first time she felt the severe pain brought by something surging, an itch pain that penetrated deep into Thesel. She guessed she was reacting to Locke Z's spring arrived. She originally thought she would never enter the mating season, after all. Before meeting Luo Z, who, embracing and shouting out loud, liking her, and yelling the whole afternoon, didn't go hunting, partly due to physical reasons, the oath. On one hand, there are also quite a lot of things to do. After finishing all the work, Luo Zi went with Yaxia's female Zhang Gyang to riverbank wash hands. As soon as they reached the riverbank, Zhang Gyang broke a black bark walnut tree growing by the river. Then with a crunching sound, he gnawed off black skin on the outside, broke it in two halves, and handed the other half to Luoji. You actually have sweet potatoes here. Tree, why aren't you guys eating? There will be none left come winter. Oh. Taking what was called a sweet root tree, Luozi thanked them, and with that, later looked at the thing in hand. Isn't this just sugar cane? After eating the sugar cane and sending off, Zhang Gyang Luoji then continued, looking for sugar cane by the river. Sugar cane can be made into brown sugar, and sugar has many uses. Wild sugar cane grows in the dense aquatic grass and shrubs by the riverbank. Luo Zi plunged headfirst into the bushes and immediately encountered a green water snake. Look up, sensing the arrival of the person, the emerald serpent's head withdraws from its belly. Warningly, it spat out a crimson snake's tongue. Luo Zi was caught off guard and met its icy snake eyes. Fear quickly spread through her entire body. She wanted to pull her feet out and run, but her lower legs were still stuck in the river mud. Boss, save me. Face, Luo Zi whispered. She was afraid of startling this snake that had begun to swim toward her leg. But as the large snakes getting close, Luo Zi could barely hold back the scream of fear in her throat. Little female, stand still, as if the savior-like low and mellow voice sounded from behind her. The next moment, the boss's chest pressed against her body, drenched in sweat. On the back, and at this moment the big snake had already coiled around the position of her knees. Small eyes gleamed with an eerie green light. What should I do? Is this snake venomous or not? Luo Zi was even stammering as she spoke, leaning all her weight on Yinling's body. It's fine, just stay still. Only then did Yinling realize her little female possessed not a shred of ability to protect herself. Although this type of water snake bite won't kill people, but the wound's flesh would fester for a long time. If the delicate little female were bitten even once, she would be heartbroken. At this moment, Yinling slightly bends at the waist, attempting to catch the water snake barehanded. Luo Zi nervously watched as the boss's hand drew closer to the water snake, without any protective measures either. Be careful, Yinling, don't get bitten. As soon as the words were spoken, Yinling's nimble finger swiftly clamped onto the snake's head, thumb tightly gripping the snake's jaw. A spontaneous crisp sound. The water snake was crushed dead by the boss. In an instant, Luo Zi couldn't hold back. Sense of horror shuddered all over and let out an sound. She turned and threw herself in Yinling's arms, hopping anxiously as she wrapped around her like a koala. The scene just now had made her scalp crawl, completely numb. Yinling didn't understand why the little female was having such a big reaction, and instead calmly supported her butt with one hand, washing. Afterwards, he carried her back to shore. Set down, Luo Zi lifted her head to gaze into the boss's calm and undisturbed silver eyes. Thank you. You, Yinling. At this moment, Luo Zi's beautiful almond eyes were still shimmering with misty, watery light. Her fair cheeks flushed a soft red. This fragile and innocent beauty's enough to mesmerize men. Yinling lowered her head, gazing at her face. The setting sun shone on her face. On, the holy light and greedy darkness interweave in her eyes. Before Luo Zikold even react, a hand fell at her waist. Those bewitching curry-colored lips pressed right against her lips. Being good-looking Jekwils being chosen in advance, selected by the male, Will's losing virginity that night, and being forced to bear offspring. To change this kind of ending, Luoji sets her sights on the rumored to be unable the big shot for carrying on Thelanage, and she just looked at him gratefully, but he took it as her trying to seduce him and grabbed her, pull her into his arms. Bewitching cherry-colored thin lips just hooked right on over and attached themselves. Luoji's strain of thought instantly crumbled, allowing the little mouth to be violated in the mind continuously. Gorgeous fireworks exploding, and Yinling, since it was the first time, breathed, growing more chaotic. The grip is also getting stronger. It hurts. You're holding too tight, Luo Zi said with a flushed face, whining pitifully, sniveled and let go of Theerm. Yinling, as if wronged. Little female creature, you can't seduce me. In her view, Luo Zi turned her flushed little face toward her, revealing that sort of expression akin to a creature like wet docile gaze, no different from a female's courtship. Yet Luozi also felt that she had done nothing at all. It's just that clearly it was the big shot who inexplicably started the argument first. So how did it become her seducing him? Never mind, considering the boss tastes pretty good. And besides, he's the boss who saved her from Snake's mouth. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to cut sugarcane and didn't notice there was a snake. I was so scared. That's why I hugged you. Luoji blushed, not knowing what else to say. Where to begin explaining Thiwei? How would she know what behavior had seduced him? And besides, it wasn't the first time she had held him. But now, is the situation that you and the boss are in mutual love? After all, just kissed for so long. The boss definitely isn't for the sake of leave behind her scent. At this moment, Yinling perhaps feels guilty and changes the subject. You said sugarcane is sweet root tree, said with a furrowed brow, looking at the few branches Luo Zi had picked up. This plant is sweet, but it's also too difficult to swallow, because people here eat sugarcane without spitting out the pulp. Yinling felt his own delicate little femaletin need to eat such low-grade stuff. The sweets, let alone having toughened food on your own. Leave. I'll go find other desserts for you. And of course, Lok Kai understood what he meant. Thinking, he grabbed the big brother's arm and explained, the sweet root tree can be squeezed into juice, which can be boiled into sugar in a pot. Just a salt-like substance. If we hire people to collect a lot of sweet root trees, we cancel sugar in bulk. Trust me, won't be sold cheaper than salt. Soy won't have to go out and hunt hard every day. Silver Ling, who had halted her steps, remained silent, looks at the little female, as if considering the feasibility in her words. Moments later, Yinling looked seriously at Luoji. Wanted to find many sweet roots. Trees would need many people, if it were truly possible to make the kind of candy you speak of. If there are already many people, your wisdom would be run away. We can try it ourselves first. If it works, we'll buy half ORC slaves to work. Wow, Silver Tomb, you really is both smart and amazing. Luo Zi looks at Yinling with admiration. Juicing and Berlingus a simple task, indeed can. This technique was stolen by Simeon. Suddenly, Luo Zi remembered the kiss just now and hesitant whispered, didn't you just? Is it to free loath taste, right? It's just a kiss. Silver Ling's delicate face flushed slightly, but he still nodded honestly. And Luo Zi immediately took advantage, said softly and coquettishly, you kissed me, from now on you are my boyfriend. You can no longer look for other females. Z. The blonde woman in front wants to intercept the boss. The shameless sneak attack made her lose a lot of her sense of security. She was already a person who lacked a sense of security, including at this very moment. Yes, worried that the big boss wouldn't treply to her, wouldn't give her promises. took advantage of her for free. Her first kiss, plus intimacy. What is a boyfriend? Silver. Ling looked at her little female. The term boyfriend was something she hadn't heard of. Luo Zi, somewhat shy and blushing, explained, stretching, reached out and poked Themon's chest. Just like that. It means partner. Watching the little female creature making this expression again, Silver Ridge's heart grew somewhat restless. I am your partner, and won't look for another. Having said that, he restlessly wrapped up the knees. The little female was picked up, striding toward the direction of home. This posture somehow made Lok Kai nervous inside. Not. It's going to land me in the penalty box, isn't it? I only said, partner, not that I want to do that thing right now. Oh my, too fast, too much. Soon, if we really get taken into the little dark room later, what should we do? Should we be more proactive or more passive? But Yinling, but only set her down, gently stroking those cheeks that were flushed for some reason. I'm going to chop sweet root trees. You stay home. Wait for me. Luo Zi nodded blankly, somewhat regretfully watching Yinling's retreating figure. She had overthought it again. The boss only just intended to wake her up a little, but it doesn't seem like he lusts after her body. At this moment, Lok doesn't know if it's psychological or what. Well, I always feel a bit itchy on the little leg that had been crawled over by the green snake before, so she remembered their ball paste she had bought earlier and took it out. Failed to extract the juice and poured it on the leg. The red rashes on the leg actually receded somewhat unexpectedly. Just at that moment, Silver Ridge carried on his back a bunch of sweet tree roots. Arabac. Luo Zi smiled and went up to greet them. Yinling, you're back. Eat first. We'll talk after dinner. Making sugar. Just as the words fell, I suddenly noticed a few bloodstains on his arm. Are you hurt? It's nothing serious. Silver Mound lowered his eyelids and softly replied, all too many times already. But every time the little femalaws and runs towards him, it still makes his heart race. Perhaps this is what they call the heart skipping a beat. You also use this to wipe. It works very well. Luo Zi immediately picked up the leftover grass pulp juice that hadn't been used up, and walked towards Silver before the tomb, gently wiping it on his arm. The sharp, burning pain did not cause Yinling discomfort. Instead, it was within him as an ordinary person. His wisdom left him in a daze. The little female is so intelligent, possessing mysterious wisdom. If the others in the tribe were to know, he would be revered as another witchmaster. So in the future, will he also seek many males? If that's the case, will Shestel stay by his side? But he had once said he only liked her. Yinling felt her own. The heart is pierced by a sharp wooden thorn called liking. Why? A trace of sinister suddenly flashes deep in Yinling's eyes. Voice. Like thousand-year-old ice buried deep in glaciers. It was so cold. Lok Kai was inexplicably feeling a bit apprehensive. Blinking her big eyes in confusion, she asked, what? Why? On Yinling's handsome face, the expression was cold and detached. His emotions seemed somewhat unstable. Lo, why like me? Luoji thought in surprise. Boss, how come you show up just like that, without giving people any psychological warning at all? The time to prepare, but without a moment's hesitation on the lips. Because you're good looking, in my heart you're the most handsome man. Sex is the most formidable companion. The softest of sounds was heard, though the silver mound seemed to have little substantial change. But Luo Zi seemed to see the boss's pale pink corner of the mouth faintly curve in an extremely small arc. Did the boss just laughing? Before she could get a clear look, Yinling stared at her with a serious expression. You're afraid of other males, right? Hearing this, Luo, without hesitation, she nodded her head. Previously very scared. But now I have you, so I'm not afraid anymore. If I get bullied, you will definitely take care of them for me. Luo Zi is afraid of all males except Yinling, because all other males will change Taking the form of a beast, she couldn't act living with such a beast man. Nor could she accept doing that with a beast man. At this moment, Ynl Eng. His heart felt sweetly, dotingly pat Luo Zi's little head. His little mate is so well behaved. After eating, Luoji pondered to extract juice from sugarcane. The beast world had no jasingmakin. In the end, with Yinling, after discussion, it was decided to make a large roller for pressing. Pressing sugarcane is an extramelastrenous physical labor, as strong as. The man was so tired that he was sweating profusely, therefore Luo Zi felt especially distressed for the man, but fortunately, she could still help with some small tasks. Taking time to assist, Big Brother wipes sweat, tending toppets, replacing pots, and heating woks. A petite figure keeps darting around the yard enjoying herself thoroughly, although tired. Yet the corners of the lips remained upturned, curved, and lifted. And Yinling's arm muscles ached with soreness, but he didn't show any weariness at all. He was enjoying seeing the young female now looking secretly pleased and delighted. The two of them busied until late at night, finally mouth-watering. The sweet fragrance drifted out. Luo zipped his index finger into some of the splashed reddish-brown syrup, tasted it, and then, the long-awaited sweetness. Sweetness made her eyes curve into adorable crescent moons, then playfully raised her hand, and lightly brushed it against Yinling's attractive lips. Here, taste it. Yinling obediently licked it. Lips, the gritty sugar crystals roll into the oral cavity. Quickly melts, sweet to the heart, as sweet as his little female. But at this moment, Lok Kai quickly lowers his head, his face suddenly. Her complexion flushed red. She waist-empted by the side of the boss, licking his lips, though it lasted only a moment, but she caught a glimpse of the boss's pink. The tip of the tongue was colored, shaped like a triangle, with an indescribable sexiness. For no reason, she thought of the boss kissing her during the day. The scene. Lok Kai is immersed in pink fantasy bubbles. His mind inexplicably starts a battle. A little white angel said, "You're a girl, you can't be so flirty. Males like reserved girls." Another little devil said, "Tao, we girls don't smoke or drink. What's up with the sexy stuff? Is there a problem?" Yin Ling also noticed Luo Jiwu's inexplicably shid face. "I thought she was too hot. I go take a shower. Are you going?" He was uneasy about their going to the riverside alone, and, believing that Luo Zi was his female, he felt it was natural to look at her body. Of course, the premise is that she still must not seduce him. Otherwise, he might lose his rationality. After all, he's because of her. One after another seduction officially entered the mating season of adult ORCs. Just as Seinling was worrying about this, Luo Zi refused his suggestion. "None, I just wash at home is fine." At this moment, Luo Zi was too embarrassed to watch the big brother leave back silhouette. After all, she had just messed with him like that. And she knew big bro definitely meant nothing by it, but being invited. Let's take a mandarin duck bath. Her face is still not thick-skinned enough. Worried that the shower would finish quickly, Luo Zi didn't dare to dawdle, quickly finished head-wishing, and changed out of the dirty clothes. She had just tittied up when suddenly from outside the courtyard came the noisy talking of beastmen. Luo Zi couldn't help but frown in the middle of the night. Who would dare come to our door? Not afraid of Thebes beating him up? Pushing the door slightly ajar to look outside, Luo Zi was given a fright. In an era when everyone could not afford salt, the girl, yet making use of modern technology to eat sugar. Right at this moment, the courtyard's big door was knocked. The moment the door was pushed open, Luo Zi was suddenly startled. There were actually many beastmen outside the courtyard, and Yinling happened to return from bathing by the river, her dripping wet, silver hair shedding droplets off water indescribably alluring. From Luoshi. From this perspective, the boss back was silver white and flawless, without a single blemish, sparking genless reverie in her. If it were in the fore. As for the face, wouldn't everyonathan see the big shot's abs and little peach fuzz? How can we possibly bear that? Luo Zi hurriedly takes He grabbed a piece of clothing and ran in front of Yulling, trying to block his decent exposure. He just doesn't want the boss to be seen by others. Look, and the appearance of Flock Kai made the arriving males unable to get excited. Everyone Auradikovited this beautiful little female. Just don't usually have the Chanchetto see it. Seeing this situation, Silver Bell furrowed her brow, scooped Luo Z up in her arms, and turned around, walking into the house. Just at this moment, Da Hong shouted out the first line of accusation. Silver Bell hand over the black bear honey, but still, the bell paid no heed to her, placing Luzi back in the inner room. Their gaze fell upon the little female's sexy collarbon, their throat bobbed slightly. Then he gently rubbed her head and said, "They mistakenly thought the sweet taste was black bear honey. You go first. Sleep, I'll go take care of things." Lozi doesn't understand what black bear honey is, but to cause such a big commotion, she's worried there might be no problem. Turned around and took a spoon, stirred it around in the pot for boiling sugar. Then, you take it to show them. Ours. I did not steal their stuff. Silver Bell originally did not want to take it. She doesn't need to explain anything, as long as she says no. No one dares to enter her territory, but after seeing the young female's worried look, hesitantly took the spoon and left out. As soon as Luo Z to shed the bed, she fell asleep. She also wanted to wait for the outcome of Themeter, yet toiling busily all day indeed. Just too tired. The second day waking up, discovered Silver Bell wasn't in bed, and outside there was still commotion. Lok Kai hurriedly got up from getting up from the bed. Did those beasts not leave all night? Or did Silver Bell fight with him all night? But the next second, her face flushed crimson all at once, and she shyly covered her face with her hands. She had spotted Thepentes placed at the foot of the bed. No way, oh way. This is the panties that the boss washed for her last night. In the middle of the night, she could imagine the boss's cold and handsome face, squatting by the river, washing her panties for her. Woo! How can it be like this? How can there be a grown man washing for a girl? Washing panties. At this moment, Luo Z, flushed with shame and indignation, rolled around on the bed, before finally calming down after a good while. Calm down, it's not. Knowing what the situation was outside, after rushing anxiously out the door, the overly bright sunlight made her instinctively block her eyes. A voice suddenly came through. Later, we'll go to the market. Yinling was carrying a bundle of thick bamboo and just happened to pass by. Luoji nodded, fog-like gazing at the Silver Bell. I also saw many ORCs working in the courtyard. What is going on here? Maybe today you need to spend a little more. Beijing, you are too weak. Cannot even notice water snakes approaching, so I want to fence the entire house. Lok Kai was really moved. Thinking that the boss would consider so much about the snake matter at this moment. I wish I could hold her cold, handsome face, and give it a big mwah. Yinling, you're so kind. Thank you. Luo Zhiwei smiled as she looked at Yinling, then asked about her matter from last night. It turned out last night, Silver Bell didn't want them to disturb the little female, so she let them smell the wooden spoon. After going through it once, they were sent away. Under Silver Bell's formidable strength, they had no choice. Just as they were dispersing, the Bell suddenly called out Totham, since they were already here. Anyway, they enlisted beastmen willing to earn shell coins to help with the work. The reclusive Silver Bell Society has shallow social interactions, rejects contact with others, and never needs help from Manhwa. But for the sake of the little female, safe, she has already been trying her best to change. After hearing this, Luo Z's fondness for the senior grew be another measure, thinking to herself, well, next time, if the big brother does bad things to her, she can choose not to resist. Suddenly, she remembered the big brother just now. Blinking her big eyes and looking at Yinling, she asked, then what are we going to do at the market this afternoon? Go and sell some beast teeth, and buy you a piece of clothing. Speaking of this, Silver Belle frowned, as if hesitating, and said in a low voice, still, want to buy slaves to help you work, but must sell your sugar first. She doesn't know if the little female will be unhappy hearing this. Xing, those candies she spent a lot of time on. It was very hard to make, and in fact, Luo was beyond pleased, so happy he jumped up. All right, let's go sell them today. Well, sell them for 20 shell gold each. Silver Bell rarely refutes Luo, but no, at least 30 shell gold. Black bear honey sells for 40 shell gold per piece. It's very expensive. Expensive food. Sugar is much more delicious than black bear honey. Okay, I'll listen to you. Although Luo hasn't tasted black bear honey, but still, Ling is very intelligent. What she said is definitely right. Watching the joyful figure of the little female depart, a trace of soft, gentle warmth flickered in the Silver Bell eyes. In the days when everyone despised her, Luo was like her little son in the darkness, never scorning her for her flaws. Covered in filth, smiling, he stretched out his hands toward her. This would make Yinling feel somewhat at a loss. She would fear losing Fishered one warmth, so she would use everything to protect her little female. And on the other side, just at the front courtyard gate, Luoji was called to a stop by Zhang Yang, who was looking quite mysterious. Luo responded with a sound, and then, jogging over, what's wrong? Your dark circles are so heavy? Shang grumbled in annoyance. I haven't all night. Sleep. All because off Big Red, she insisted. That Silver Bell stole black bear honey. Let's come together and force Ling to hand it over. Who knew it wasn't that at all? It troubled us so much. Later your male, sexually recruiting people to work. I was thinking that it will be dawn soon. Just earn some shell coins. Hearing this, Luoji smiled smugly. Her boyfriend really is smart. By the way, what is black bear honey? You don't know? All the honey in the Neverset Forest belongs to Thiedvint's tribe, the Black Bear clan, only they are qualified to collect it, so it's called black bear honey. Luo roughly understood. This is almost like exclusive royal supply. Like this, damn nobles monopolize. Suddenly, she remembered Xiangxian seemed to have something to say to her just now. Right. What did you just want to tell? Zhang Yang was interrupted and forgot, then cautiously glanced around before whispering. Big Red wanted your male to abandon you last night, said he was willing to accept her as a new male. Lok Kai couldn't help but feel inwardly. She cursed using national essence. She really never disliked a person so much before, not only wanting to harm her, but also wanting to snatch hers. Boss, if the tiger doesn't show its might, you really think she's a sick cat? Suppressing the anger, she went back inside, broke off a piece of small red sugar, and handed it to Zhang Yang. Thank you for telling me. Please have some candy. As soon as the brown sugar entered her mouth, Xiangxiang revealed a satisfied smile. Wow, Luo, the food your partner found for you is so delicious. If only they could still breed, that would be good. Right, you haven't mated. Is it because he can't take it anger? Is there any crippled beast venting frustration? Luo Jizha didn't catch that for a second, staring dumbly at Zhang Xiang's with weary face. Taking air? What the hell? But then associating it with mating, his face immediately flushed red. It's clear, I don't know either. I'm going to get busy now. We'll chat when we have time. Looks like a shy ostrich has run off. Luoji. Shang couldn't help but lol. The world actually had such a shy female, but then she felt a bit of regret. The pretty little female can't have babies, doesn't even know how to get through her heat cycle, but Yinling won't live long anyway. In the future, one can still find another partner. However, Zhang Xiang's voice was not soft, and the beastmen around all heard it, occasionally glancing over Yinling. They all wanted to know how much longer she could live, and Ling had naturally heard it till her complexion remained unchanged. The usual cold desert makes it hard for others to see the sorrow within, while on the other side, Luo, who ran into the house, covered her burning little face. It was like a public social death. How was she to know if the boss was affected or not? Angry? Although I slept with boss for a few nights. But there was completely no chance for sex. Wait. Why? Why clap for love? I know what you're thinking. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Then slowly let out a breath. I can't think about these things anymore. I still have to. Going to the market to do business. During the meal, Lok Kai hesitated for a while, then pretended not to care very much and asked. Hyung told me. Last night, Da Hong asked you to bear partner. Yinling is taking a bite of candied pumpkin, although it's so delicious it makes her wag her tail in her heart. But on the surface, there was still an Asperg expression. She only wanted the candy and the beast meat. However, Qi Luoji was obviously unsatisfied with this answer. Dissatisfied, staring intently at Yinling. If not, although I don't know why the little female is so persistent about this question, but still answered seriously, I hate her. Upon hearing this, Luoji let out a soft, oh. Yet the smile on her face gave hair away, as she happily passed the meat skewers to the big brother. After eating their fill, the two headed to the market, but encountered the little female I dislike, a female who once seduced the big boss by the river. Yinling, are you also going to the market? Right after Honey butterflied as if she had just noticed Yun. Yao. Oh, this female you haven't mated with is here too. Luozi then. Knowing that nothing good comes out of her filthy mouth, it's obvious she's been eyeing the boss all along. Her head filled every day with hots of applause. Hasn't even arrived yet. Before she had time to retort back at her, Yinling simply ignored her and walked toward the market without even looking back. Suddenly, a sharp, dissatisfied reproach came from the other side. Silver Bell, you stand right there for me. Midian is talking to you. Can't you hear? Luoji was somewhat surprised. It was Da Hong's voice. Turning around to look, it was indeed him. Bad woman. And Ynl Eng Al softly stopped her footsteps. I very much loathe you all, even more will not agree to your courtship. Leave me and my female companion, keep a distance. After saying this, he pulled Luozi away and left. However, this made Da Hong utterly furious, and this would serve as a major event later sets the stage. At this moment, Luo Z arrived at a booth that looks very expensive. This is Luo, the sugar selling plan. Boss, look at how big your stall is. I want to rent a corner spot to sell brown sugar, just rent one. Hewer, look, how about 5 gold shells? The plump middle-aged merman had never heard of this way of speaking, but it sounds not at a loss, so they agreed. Altha Gyanling thought renting a place to sell brown sugar was indeed good. She did not understand why the young female why choose here, and this was intentionally done by Luo Z. Brown sugar is positioned as a high-end product, and the various vendors are the best. His target customer, Lok Z smiled and looked at the middle-aged mermaid. Uncle, I'll give you a piece to try as a sample. Thank you for being willing to rent. The place is given to us. The middle-aged merman showed some disdain, but on account of the 5-fold gold rent, he casually took the brown sugar and put it in his mouth. At first, she didn't take it seriously, but as the brown sugar entered her mouth, the expression on her face changed rapidly, from a bored and lazy fat man to a fat man full of happiness and still wanting more. And Luo Z had been observing the middle-aged vendor. After seeing this scene, she knew he would soon come to her. Sure enough, the middle-aged merman walked over with a smile. Hello, little female, my name is Heinamai. How do you sell this brown sugar? I plan to take it all. Indeed, Merfolk born to do business. He doesn't plan to buy just 1 or 2 pieces. He wants to take it all away, to eat himself and also make a profit as a middleman. But this was not enough. What Luoji wanted was more than just this. She wants to raise the awareness of brown sugar, laying the groundwork for her subsequent mass production. So she feigned surprise, loudly said, You want to bouillie it all? This seasoning is much more expensive than medicine, and it can also treat female physical weakness issues. After giving birth, drinking a bit of brown sugar water will also improve health. These words indeed caught the attention of many people, who all pricked up their ears and looked over. A young vendor even walked straight over. Esteemed beautiful female, my partner always feels cold in the hands and feet. Is this really useful? Of course. Luo Zi immediately broke off a small piece and handed it to him. You can first taste it. Brown sugar can replenish blood and nourish the body. Injured, bleeding beastmen who eat it will also recover faster. The young man took the brown sugar and put it in his mouth. It melted before I could chew, opening up, clear and sweet with the caramelized aroma, leaving an endless aftertaste, and I actually felt quite a bit more refreshed. Good, I believe it. I'll buy all of these brown sugar for however many shell coins. As soon as the words fell, the middle-aged vendor from before immediately became displeased. Heirs, what do you mean? This is my business. The young merman, feeling Hainamai's displeased gaze, anxiously blurted out, my female has been sick for so long, Uncle Nimi. Please give way to me. But how could Hainamai possibly yield? His female's body is also weak. Mermen live on the sea. Females' bodies are often somewhat weakened, prone to chills. So the two began to argue, till finally a respected old fisherman stepped forward, letting each of them buy 4 pieces and leaving the rest for others. Let the other fisherman try it. Just like that, after Luo Zi sold out, he had a full 500 more shell coins in hand, while the merman in the middle was overjoyed, holding the brown sugar, planning to take it back later for his own female to try. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept past, stirring up a large amount of flying dust and smoke. The next moment, Hainamai suddenly flew into rage. Which tribe's beastman dares to steal my things? I, Hainamai, will kill him. Luo Zi fearfully moved closer to the big shot side. What kind of beastman stealing things can run that fast? But Yinling frowned tightly. The merman's sense of smell is average, but she could tell it was from the scent left in the air. At that moment, a noblewoman riding a mighty male lion slowly walked over. The tall male lion with the full mane stopped in front of Yinling, its gaze sweeping over him with disdain. The scent I smelled came from the leopard tribe, but it's not this crippled beast in front of me. Hearing this, Luo Jishirt skipped a beat. Big Red and the others are also here today. Could it be them playing tricks? At this moment, Zillion jumped off the male lion, her expression cold, as she swept a glance over Yinling and Yun Yao. No matter who it is, anyone who dares to steal goods from our Southern Jiao tribe will face the most severe punishment. The Southern Jiao tribe, as the wealthiest tribe, can hire the top bassmen to work for them, too. It was also to maintain the order off-market, and all of this seemed, for the moment, to have nothing to do with Luo Zhan the others, so they went to the market on the other side, buying half-beast human slaves. But when they returned home, they found the original's door was now open. Luo Zi hurriedly ran into the house and discovered that the originally still wet brown sugar was all gone. Silverbell, our brown sugar has been stolen. At this moment, Silverbell's ice-blue pupils instantly narrowed vertically. This had touched her bottom line, and a great storm was about to arrive. Being good-looking equals being selected by males in advance, equals losing virginity that night and being forced to bear offspring. In order to change this out, Luo Zi set her sights on the legendary big shot who couldn't reproduce. But when the big shot returned to the wooden cabin, he instantly flew into a rage. Just because the little female had worked so hard to brew the brown sugar, it was actually stolen, and the scent left in the air, she knew exactly who it was from. With one sniff, this behavior seriously touched Yinling's reverse scale. He must pay Thepris with his life. The next second, Yinling instantly disappeared from the spot. A life and death Storm was about to erupt. At same time, the vast bluestone altar was knelt upon by a massive crowd of beastmen. Da Hong, who usually acts arrogantly in the tribe, was bound and kneeling like a criminal. At the very front and beside it, knelt Da Hong's beast husband, Blue Crane. They actually dared Torab the brown sugar that Luo sold to the high-level tribe, and now they were being confronted at their doorstep. So you are saying the brown sugar was stolen from you by Luo? Yes, noble princess. This is truly a misunderstanding. The brown sugar was stolen from the tribe by Luo. We simply had no idea she sold the sugar to you. Otherwise we would never have dared to rob your sugar. At this moment, Da Hong was praying in his heart that Luo would not return. The robbed brown sugar had already been divided and eaten by them. The brown sugar in front was stolen by Blue Crane from Luo's home, and they even falsely accused Luo of stealing their brown sugar. As long as they pushed the blame onto Luo, the mermaid will believe it and let them go. Hi. Nimi fiercely glared at him. Bullshit. Then how come you can't explain where the brown sugar came from? What right do we have? What makes you believe, you lowly thieves? Upon hearing this, Big Red was immediately at a loss for words. Noon had expected these merfolk to be so stubborn, even returning the brown sugar they stole from Luo's family to them. They refused to leave, insisting in waiting for Luo to return and explain. Clearly, many did not know the whole story behind this matter, but they all understood in their hearts that the brown sugar belonged to Luo's family, yet they could also guess that Luo had sold the brown sugar to the merfolk tribe. But Blue Crane and the others were actually foolish enough to dare steal from the merfolk's hands. This was going to drag the entire tribe into misfortune. At this moment, an elder steps forward. Honorable Princess, I am the witch Dr. Cyber of the Leopard tribe. This sugar actually comes from deep within the never-setting sun forest, brought back with great effort by our hunting team. Originally intended as an offering to the noble Black Bear tribe, but we also never imagined that Luo, a lowly female, would dare to steal the tribe's brown sugar. With that, she turned to look at the tribe's beastmen, her gaze sharp as sheath. Everyone here knows about this matter, right? Zhang Gyang knelt in the farthest corner, despising such a witch doctor in her heart, feeling she was utterly unworthy of respect, telling lies herself and forcing the entire tribe to lie along. Many beastmen dared not offend her, and could only brazenly tell falsehoods. That's right, we know. The brown sugar was brought back by the hunting team. As soon as the words fell, Zhang Gyang stepped forward. I don't know, I didn't see it. And the consequence was, she successfully earned a threatening look from the witch Dr. Cyber, but she was not afraid. Her father might not survive this winter. Precisely because of inaction. Lan Xia, on what grounds was Luo called a thief? How is she supposed to go to the market in the future? If you really consider Luo a friend, then tell the truth. However, Lan Zhang's thick lips only twitched a few times, but she didn't dare to make a sound. She was afraid she would be bullied to death later. Surprisingly, Yi, who was kneeling behind, disregarding her partner's expression, spoke up weakly, yet firmly. Didn't know about this matter either. On that autumn day, the hunting team didn't bring back any sugar at all. The sugar was originally Luo's own. She had sworn to the beast god that she would believe in Luo. Every Onebelese her only Luo has ever been kind to her. The person she should be most grateful to is Luo. So it seems, some know, some don't. You, as a witch priest, are quite a failure. Lion mockingly swept a glance at Cyber. She had almost believed it just now. In her eyes, a beautiful female like Luo really wouldn't need to resort to stealing to obtain shell gold. Thinking of this, she decided not to dawdle any longer. The leopard tribe's clan leader. What do you say? And Gu Yu, who had been silent for a long time, didn't know how to speak. What she was thinking Gabbett wasn't who was right in this matter. Right or wrong, what she thought was that the leopard tribe had not prospered under her leadership. Instead, today it suffered even more such humiliation. If the old clan leader were here, they absolutely wouldn't have to kneel humbly on the ground out of fear, and they could also directly deal with Big Red, who had made a mistake. Although Deer Tower and Blue Crane were not her biological descendant, they were still raised by her own hands. Grain Rain firmly believed they didn't have the guts to do something like stealing food. It must have been under Big Red's coercion and inducement. Just at this moment, a figure swift as the wind darted through the crowd and fiercely charged over. Lion Star reacted extremely quickly, thinking someone was about to attack Purple Lotus, and swooped down immediately. However, Silver Bell's target was not Purple Lotus. Just hearing a loud bang, Blue Crane, who was kneeling on the ground completely unprepared, was kicked down by Silver Bell like a parabola, and blinding blood splattered. Suddenly, everyone stared at the scene in horror. Many females even screamed. What was most unexpected was that Lion Shings, who had lunged at Silver Bell, actually ended up pouncing into empty air. Shings's eyes were alertly fixed on Silver Bell. This human-shaped beast made her sense danger. If the person he had just attacked was her female master, Purple Lotus, it was highly likely she would have met the same fate as Blue Crane. Now, Silver Bell, what are you doing? Have you gone mad? The clan leader, Guyu, bared her teeth and roared with fury. Blue Crane was her child, after all. Silver Bell stood in place, the ruthless color of blood blending into her cold silver eyes. She glanced at the lifeless Blue Crane. Before slowly speaking, he took advantage of my absence to intrude into my territory. Stole my food, brown sugar. I killed him. There's nothing wrong with that. Some rules are absolute. For Silver Bell, they hold an existence more important than food. Silver Bell don't understand the idiom, kill one to warn 100, but that is precisely the meaning she wants to convey. In the future, she will still need to go out to hunt. If other males dare to break into the home, then the safety of the home simply cannot be guaranteed. Her philosophy is simple. Only by establishing a powerful deterrence can she protect Luozi. Then you should have let me punish him. Guyu knew Silver Bell was right. She had tacitly approved of Blue Crane doing this thing.